Must repent and do his will to get back on track. I heard him say, come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, back, back.
You got problems,
That's right,
and I got problems.
that's right,
If you just listen,
listen,
this world was solved.
that's right.
Gotta get back now
Get back.
to who we were
back.
and fulfill our purpose
That's right.
and reverse the curses. I wanna get closer, closer toward you, but instead I just close all the doors on you.
You gotta be down right in order to come up.
Gotta make it sound right. Don't know why
I'm caught up in my feelings. Don't know why I did it. And I know my word is all I got. Stop living so shady, or else you'll go crazy. Must repent and do his will to get back on track. I heard him say, come back,
come back, come back, come back, come back.
back, 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 come back,
Come back, come back.
back, back, come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, back, back.
Israel. What, you Israel? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We going downtown. We going downtown. Me going there, fellowshipping to do your will. We going downtown. Me going downtown. Me going there to fellowship and to do your will. And me don't even care. No, me don't even care at all. Yeah, me don't even care. I'll go anywhere you want me to. I'll do your will. You have your way. Take all my time, yeah, take my mind. If you may. This temple is yours, so you can have more. You take all I got, so I don't ride. My life is yours. Put me on the boat. And I'll go. You put me on the boat. And I'll go. Yeah. Put me on the boat. The boat. Ooh.
Oh Lord, I will stand against the workers of evil. Gather the last stripes, feed the people. In God I trust, no love for the eagle. Craft the council, the one of them a weasel. Yes, Lord, put me on that boat. Only these laws can keep me afloat. Search my mind with the word, the microscope. Get the mind right, cause there's only one hope. Giving a second chance, thank you, Father. Now I got to go 10 times harder to save the people from the coming slaughter. Nowhere else can we find living water. Only you will have pity. Deliver us from our enemy. I stand against the workers of iniquity. Watchmen crying out.
Put me on the boat. The boat.
Yes, Lord, put me on that boat.
I'll go. Put me on the boat.
The
That's right. The boat. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna warn my people like I'm supposed to. I'ma blow my trumpet loud, tuturutu. I can't make you come, I sure do hope you come and fear the Most High like you're supposed to. The truth is in the air. My people need to be aware. They don't know. And I'll go anywhere. Yeah, Lord, I don't care. And I'll do your will. You have your way. Take all my time, yeah, take my mind. If you may. This temple is yours, so you can have more. You take all I got, so I don't rot. My life is yours. Put me on the boat, the boat. And I'll go. Put me on the boat, the boat. And I'll go. Yeah. Put me on the boat, the boat.
Impatience possess your soul, so I'm waiting for this generation of mine, seeking the sign like ears to hear, sight for the blind. I wanna see my errors I've committed, confessing that I've been wicked, and please don't remove your spirit, cause I need you, Lord. Without you I'm nothing, we're cursed and punished, we're begging you, send your loving. Your mercy reigneth, my heritage, I done claimed it. Now ain't it amazing when I read it out of your pages? I need palms in my hands with that brand new clean white raiment. From new moon to new moon we'll serve you, and over these nations we shall rule. Father, please make me a part of it. I serve you with my heart in it. Yeah, I'm all in it. Please answer cause I'm calling in.
What are you asking for? I wanna please you, my Lord. I know we messed up before, but can we get an answer? 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 Can we get an answer?
Send the messages 3 days straight. Try and make it through the airways to get to them gates. Don't wanna be late for your return, so I keep my phone line prepaid.
Wait so long to strange from our wickedness.
Yeah, why we turn our back on God? Why we had to go and serve that rock? Why is fornication still on our mind? Why we idolize the moon and the sun?
Why we gotta keep going through pain just to learn something?
Yeah, Lord, if I repent, I know I'll be safe from the sinners. Know you coming with jealousy, be damned if I'm cheating. I ain't never felt the love like this.
Could it be that I'm falling in love? Lord, I'm begging
Hey,
you.
I got a question for you. I know you feel with answers. Know if I commit to you that you'll make way for me, for the blessings through Jacob's bloodline. Hey, you know it ain't no problem with that. Hey,
What are you asking for? I wanna please you, my Lord. I know we messed up before, but can we get an answer? 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 Can we get an answer?
I gotta say
Can we get an answer? Can we
the
get an
number
answer? Can we get an
12.
answer?
God, this a banger. World filled with danger. Laws going off like a bomb in a tanker. Lord on the cross had a palm full of anguish. Now I pray when I call, he don't hang up. Israel as a nation owned and operated. Passed around the world, little hot potato. It's a bloodline ting litty out the singer. You probably can't relate because you're not related. I ignore the pain, word to my menorah chain, word to what the Torah saying. Lord, I hope we correlating. Could have been chain gang paddy wagoning.
Reloaded.
Mic was off. Check. Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for tuning in to In the Scripts. I got the team with me.
That's
to my,
right.
To my right.
I was talking wrong.
To his right,
Officer Yakub.
Officer Shema.
All right, all praises to the Most High. So today we're going to talk about why Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of,
that's right,
and how he uses words to weaponize and strategize to change the minds of the people, paint a bad imagery on so-called black people. All right, Officer Yakub, what you got for me today?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to start off false flag operation. So the weaponizing of words is basically called a false flag. Is when you create a situation through words and through actions to bring a certain idea or ideology from a group of people towards another group of people or a topic.
Right.
So false flag operation. Expand that a little bit. Let's talk about this.
Who gave the title of this program? Wypippo. Where did you get that from? That's interesting. The spelling of that.
Yeah, it's like
at first I thought it was a typo. I was like, man, these brothers can't spell.
Right. Nah, that's like the new term for them. Everybody, when you see it, instead of saying WH, they just put white people.
White people.
Yeah.
White people.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
the reason I bring that up is I forgot, was it Sierra Leone or Uganda? Well, both of those places over there on the continent. When we out on the street teaching and, going over the image of Christ and so forth, everybody would say, white.
Right.
That's how you pronounce it.
Wow.
You're like, Revelation 1:14.
Yeah.
And like, what color is Jesus? White.
Wow.
So I'm like, what the hell? So when I seen the title, that's what I thought you was making mockery or something.
Right.
But I like that title. Very catchy.
Right.
All right. So what is this article about? What are we reading?
This is going to explain a false flag operation, and it's going to share some of the biggest false flag operations known. Expand that just a little bit more. That's the biggest. Okay, cool. I'll rock with it. A false flag operation is an operation conducted by one party or government and made to appear as though it was sponsored by another party or government.
9/11.
Yes.
Hey, some people might get offended by that.
Right.
Facebook might stop this broadcast
because of that.
Hey, do you know how many people on this earth, and I'm talking about different nations, not just black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people, even politicians, believe that 9/11 was an inside job? Still into this very day. It's still not convincing.
Right.
And we know Esau is known for that. You know, and not only Esau, other nations as well, they sponsor false flags and they participate in it to carry out their agenda.
Right.
Why? Because they got to persuade the public. You need public opinion to go to war.
True.
Okay, you need the masses of the people that are your subjects in whatever kingdom you're over to agree with what you're doing or what you're going to have. Chaos, monarchy, uproars, riots,
exactly,
and so forth. All right? Go ahead.
The term, although not the tactic, has its origins in the traditions of honorable naval warfare, where ships were required to sail under their own national flag in order that they could be identified. As people learned that being a sneaky bastard was much more fun, much more effective than playing by the rules, ships began sailing under false colors, i.e., flying their enemy's flag in order to get close to their enemy before swapping to their true colors and opening fire.
Damn. The hell is this?
Damn.
Right.
And you know what? They used to use that tactic on the streets too. When them brothers used to be gang banging in the neighborhoods, when we was out there being silly, they used to do that. They used to go through the neighborhood, throw a false flag gang sign, and if another person threw it up, that's when they'd jump out the window and start firing. So they used that weaponry even in the neighborhoods, even during the time we was gang banging real heavy.
Right.
So are you telling me that there's a potential problem with those who left IUIC, who still has a purple shirt, who still has our garment, like the one brother we had in Fort Worth that came up with the garment.
Exactly.
So we got to watch out for those.
You sure right.
You know what? We should demand our stuff back.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
that shirt.
Right.
And
Next
that
thing
back.
you know, they go do something crazy and then we get blamed for it.
Exactly. Just like if you're on a football team, you get kicked off the team. Guess what? You got to hand that jersey over.
Right.
You know what I mean? We might need to consider that.
Hey, Cap, isn't that what happened a few years back? A brother that was no longer with us supposedly was wearing a shirt in the process.
Oh, yeah. Yes, right. Yes, the brother that we put out,
right?
But we suspended him indefinite because of how he was treating his wife.
Right.
And then he went on friggin' Backpage and hooked up with a tranny. And it got all these black Hebrew Israelites talking crazy.
Right, right.
You know, crazy,
Right.
crazy, crazy. Yep.
Yes, sir. In the modern use of false flag tactics and operations, this final step is avoided entirely, making it difficult to identify what is really a false flag operation and what is just some conspiracy nuts not trusting their own government.
So let me ask you something. Would a false plot be considered like a form of deception?
Yes.
That's a form of deception,
Yes,
right?
a form of deception.
Now, you do know the Mossad's motto. The Mossad is, for those of you who don't know, who still got your head in the sand, in the year 2020, the Mossad is the equivalent to the CIA of America in Israel. Right. The Mossad is based out of Israel. Pull up the last link that I just sent you in regards to the Mossad. This is their motto. You could look it up. Okay? This is the official motto of the Israeli Mossad or Israeli CIA. By way of deception, thou shalt do war.
Wow.
That's what a lot of people are saying. They had influence during the events of 9/11, leading up to it, when you look deep into it. Okay? So that's just that's another people that participate in false flags.
The hell is this?
All right? Bring that down. Go ahead.
All right. So this article is going to show us some of the false flag situations that we know historically. Now go back to that one. Go back to where we were. Yeah, go back to that. Scroll down. Okay, so here's some examples. A list of such attacks, either determined or widely held to be false flag attacks, follows. Nero burns Rome, blames it on the Christian.
Yes, and those Christians were followers of Christ. Can I get that, please, to show that the original Christians were the Jews?
Yes, sir.
Please, get me that, man.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Acts, chapter 11 and verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch.
So Nero, if you don't know, was an Edomite, all right? He was one of the Caesars. He was an Edomite. So he brought them unto where?
Unto Antioch.
Unto Antioch. Come on.
And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first at Antioch.
So that we all know that the disciples were Israelites.
That's
okay?
right.
They were all Israelites, all right? From the tribe of Judah, composed of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
That's
all right?
right.
And it says the disciples were first called what? Christians in Antioch. Okay? So Nero, he blamed the burning of Rome, the fires in Rome, on the Israelites. And it's funny that that's the first thing that pops up, because you know what? The same thing is happening today.
That's right.
And we're gonna go into that, right?
Yes, sir.
The secret plots and popular persuasions. Let me get that, since we're talking about false flags, create war through deception, right? And secret plots. Since we're already talking about that, give me that in First Esdras. You know what I want?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
5 and
73.
73? Yeah. The book of First Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 73. And by their secret plots.
Nero had a secret plot, right? A false flag, right? To what? Persuade to get the public opinion of the people. All right, that's why he went after the Israelites after that. And it's the same thing that they're doing now, that you see in these different articles, these newspapers, the stuff that happened in Jersey, right? All these other things that are happening, all right, to the so-called, to the white Hebrew Israelis, Amalek.
Right.
All right, go ahead. Come on.
And by their secret plots.
Secret plots against the Israelites. Why? Because the Israelites are on the rise. Go ahead.
That's right.
And popular persuasion.
Come on.
And commotions. They hindered the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from the building for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius.
So what they're doing, we're not rebuilding the physical temple, because the Most High said the temple is within us.
That's right.
But what they're trying to do, they're trying to stop the resurrection, the gathering, and the unity of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, by labeling us a black hate group, whatever the hell that is, under the guise of black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Okay, and there's no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite. Okay, now if you want to talk about Amalek, the white Hebrew Israelis, and that term should fit them.
Yeah,
If you want to label us something, right?
That's my new term.
That's hey, we got to coin that thing, patent that thing.
White Hebrew
Makes my
Israeli.
teeth white.
Yeah, or Amalek. All right, under the branch of Esau. So you got two ways. You could either go with Esau, Amalek. If you don't want those two, white Hebrew Israelis. All right, but like I'm going to continue to say, the real Jews are here. The real Jews are our people. But go ahead with the examples of weaponizing with words and false flags. Go ahead.
The Zinoviev letter.
What is that? What is the Zinoviev? That sounds like some Russian.
Let's click on that. Let's click on that.
What the hell is a Zinoviev letter?
The Zinoviev letter was a famous example of conservative deceit, which in 1924 enabled Britain's Conservative Party to cheat their way to a general election victory.
Okay, all right, whatever. Whatever.
Right.
All these different branches of politics to try to confuse you, all fall under Esau, whatever.
Right.
Go ahead.
The Mukden incident, a railroad in Manchuria owned by Japan's South Manchuria Railway was sabotaged in 1931, probably by Japanese provocateurs, and used as a pretext by Japan to invade, occupy, and set up a puppet government in Manchuria. Japan ended up leaving the League of Nations on March 27, 1933, when it became clear that the world was against the Japanese control of Manchuria, with the famous Our Empire deems it essential to respect the independence of the new state Manchuria puppet state and to encourage its healthy development in order that the sources of evil in the Far East may be eradicated and an enduring peace thereby established.
So Esau is not the only one that does this, I see.
Exactly.
All right? You got Ammon following along.
Right.
Go ahead.
The Gleiwitz incident. Germany fakes an attack on themselves by Poland, then invades Poland to counter Polish aggression.
Sound familiar.
That's kind of deep, man.
That sounds familiar. What does that sound like?
911.
Sounds like 9/11.
9/11.
That sounds like 9/11. Go ahead.
And so it says, thereby initiating World War II. So world wars are being started by false flags.
Exactly.
Operation Susanna, also known as the Lavon Affair. Susanna. Operation Susanna, also known as the Lavon Affair. Israeli agents conduct minor terrorist attacks against American and British interests.
Oh, God. Read that again. Because we just read about the Mossad's motto is, by way of deception, we shall create war. Okay, read that again.
Israeli agents conduct minor terrorist attacks against American and British interests in Egypt while trying to make it appear as though radical Muslims were responsible.
Now, you guys could look it up. This is not a conspiracy theory.
Right.
This is not, I'm going to say it again. This is not a conspiracy theory. I might try to find that video. But you have, during the time of 9/11, you can see the where the Twin Towers was standing right across from Jersey. I'm not sure what part of Jersey it is, but it's real close to New York, to Manhattan. You can see the buildings from Jersey. There was an Edomite lady that was looking at the towers with her binoculars. When she looked down, there was some people dressed as Arabs rejoicing. And then they had the police. She eventually called the cops. The cops came. They were in a white van, whatever. And there was blueprints to the tunnels, to the FDR, and I think the Lincoln Tunnel it was.
Wow.
With components of bomb-making devices.
Whoa.
And then when they asked them for their ID and so forth, come to find out they were from Israel. Wow. And the company, it was the truck was used for construction.
Right.
And this is known information. It's not a conspiracy information. And they were working for a construction company, but that was a front. It was Israeli owned. And what happened is, I think they spent about 60 to 90 days under FBI custody.
Wow.
And then eventually they got a phone call from somewhere. They were released, put on a plane, sent back to Israel. Wow. And they told the arresting police officer, who later retired, he was receiving death threats and everything. He even said he didn't want to talk about it no more because everybody was calling him for interviews. The arresting officer at the scene who pulled the truck over and was doing the investigation, he said how they told him that they were there to document the events of 9/11. Now you got to ask yourself, how did they know 9/11 was going to happen?
That's my whole face is like they
exactly.
said, what?
But you have like I said, a majority of our people are asleep. Even the peons of the other nations. Okay, they're still asleep. They don't put two and two together. They don't know what the hell is going on. TV is the biggest sorcery.
That's right.
The CNN, what is it? What is Bishop
Caucasian
Caucasian News Network.
Right.
Okay, the MSNBC, more shiznit news by Caucasians, right? All of that stuff is sorcery and propaganda to rock you to sleep. Whether you're on the left hand side as a what they call it, a liberal, or you're on the right hand side as a conservative or far right or whatever they call it. Okay, all of that is to rock our people to sleep. But read that again. Right. Read that again, please.
Israeli agents conduct minor terrorist attacks against American and British interests in Egypt while trying to make it appear as though radical Muslims were responsible.
What better person can you get to go to war for you than America?
Right.
Guess what? If I was a white Hebrew Israeli, I would be doing the same thing. What better person to get to fight your battles for you than America? Got the largest military, right? Got the strongest military. Right. What better person? So you know what? I can't blame them.
Right.
I can't blame them. Go ahead.
Right. In a complex scheme to discredit the Egyptian president Nasser's government. Never mind that Nasser suppressed those names, those same radical Muslims. Russia has been accused of false flag operations in Ukraine, including an arson attack on a Hungarian cultural center in Uzhhorod, Ukraine. All right, let me read that again. Russia has been accused of false flag operations in Ukraine, including an arson attack on a Hungarian cultural center in Uzhhorod, Ukraine, which was blamed on Ukrainian nationalists. A Polish neo-Nazi testified that he had been paid to launch the attack by a German journalist with links to Russia and far-right German party AfD. On the other hand, Ukraine in 2018 staged the murder of a journalist, which they blamed on Russian assassins. It turned out he wasn't dead after all.
Unbelievable, bro. Dang. Esau's this. It's crazy. That's just their motto.
Right.
Go ahead.
Literal false flag incidents. Attendees of the 2017 Conservative Political Action Conference were tricked into waving Russian flags with the word Trump written on them. At the Eurovision Song Contest 2017, Ukrainian prankster Vitaly Saduk ran onto the stage and mooned the crowd whilst draped in a flag of Australia.
Yeah, it's crazy, filthy.
So these are some of the things that they would do. Let's go out of this because I want to pull up one that just happened. Go all the way down, that last story. This is a story of Amalek doing exactly what Mossad said to do. Now,
damn. So this is recent. This is not 1956,
right? No.
1890.
Yeah,
this is now in this present time.
Right. This is in this present time. So, and see, it's January 3rd of 2020. Bring it. So, an Amalekite man, 26, admits he lied about being stabbed in an anti-Semitic attack after being caught out by Apple Watch heart rate monitor.
What?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hold on. Read that again. So his watch gave him up.
His watch
snitched on him.
Was it an Apple Watch?
It was an Apple Watch.
Steve Jobs, man.
Right.
Oh, man.
Steve
his watch
Jobs
gave him up.
Damn.
So we'll read the bullet points.
Takashi watch. He got a Takashi watch.
Right.
Takashi watch. Oh, man.
Right. He got that 6'9" special. Right.
All right. Can y'all get that thing out of the way? Is that possible?
Yeah, these are pop-ups. Okay. Let's see. Sean Samet, 26, told police. Okay.
Bring it out.
Let's get it. So an Amalekite man.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Come on, Jonathan.
They live today, man. An Amalekite man, 26, admits he lied about being stabbed in an anti-Semitic attack after being caught out by Apple Watch heart rate monitor. Sean Samet, 26, told police he was stabbed outside of Temple Cole Ami And
Let me take a guess before you even continue. Let me take a guess. He blamed it on black people. He said a black person stabbed him. He blamed it on a black Hebrew Israelite.
well, yeah,
Is that the thing now? Of the black man stabbed him,
Right,
supposedly.
right. Yeah.
So he stabbed himself?
Yes.
He went
that's
out the
what
way.
they
So
found.
he stabbed himself.
Stabbed himself.
And what happened? A black man was running away, and a letter, a manifesto in their pocket fell out.
Right.
And it had Revelation 1 verse 14 on it.
Yeah.
Black Hebrew Israelite.
This one, he didn't go that elaborate because they cracked down on it pretty quick. But it was the blame, and it's the fact that he brought it up to try to blame it on somebody that it ended up being exposed. Police found no evidence of the attack on surveillance cameras, and there were no eyewitnesses to corroborate Samet's story. Police checked data on his Apple Watch, which found that his heart rate spiked much earlier than the time he claims to be attacked. Inside the temple, investigators discovered bloody tissues and knife.
Hold it, inside the where?
Inside of the temple,
synagogue.
The synagogue, yeah.
Damn. Wow. So that's like no respect to the Most High.
Right.
And they say of the Most High.
Right.
So you're in the Most High's temple plotting lies.
Right.
But matter of fact, they can do that because they reverence the Talmud more than the Tanakh.
Right. Exactly.
So you can make up. It's okay to lie on the goyim and lie in the temple of God as long as it's against the goyim.
As long as it's against the goy.
Okay.
Salmon, who worked as a cantor at Temple Kol Ami, subsequently admitted he made up the attack in order to get out of his contract with the temple.
Wow.
So through the story, we won't read the entire story or whatever. It's kind of long. But this shows, though, that these tactics are not just old tactics starting back with Nero and them. This is modern day stuff that they're doing.
Damn.
So now we're going to show another one. Go up the video.
Yeah, let's
with
get
the
some
young-
more. I know you got some more that's recent.
Oh, yeah, with the kid that's right there. The
Bring
video
it out.
up.
Bring it out.
Yeah, that one. So now this, it's not against us, but again, we want to build and show how these false flag tactics are used, right?
Right.
They'll use them against their own people if it's for their,
Right.
if it's for their benefit.
Right. Just to push their narrative.
Just to push their narrative. Now, this went into the whole gun control move, right? So there was a lot that was going on, and they had to paint narratives to try to control the guns. When they saw that didn't work, this was one of those last-ditch efforts to try to get there. So this is a school shooting survivor, and he's going to speak, but watch what he tells us was done.
Okay. So hold on. What school was it? Does he say?
Yes, this was the shooting in Florida from last year, but this is where they said that they had a lot of actors. They showed a story of a kid who they showed had just graduated in California and was part of an incident in California, and they were showing how they put false actors in these news stories to act like they're having people bleeding, being killed, blah, blah, blah. But you're seeing these people in multiple news stories around the world in multiple cities.
Damn, yo, Esau's bugged out.
Yeah.
And they can't even get their act together, man.
Can't even get it together.
With the Most High exposing them like that. I would love to see that. If we can get a clip of that, the different people.
Yeah, we'll try to, because there's numerous of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
try
right.
to.
All praises. Come on.
Thanks for coming on. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. And before we get into anything, I just
So hold it. It says school shooting survivor says he quit CNN town hall after refusing scripted question.
Right.
They do that a lot too at a lot of these debates.
Right.
They do a lot of that at the debates
Yes.
to make this particular person look good,
Right.
or to try to trip this particular person up. They do that.
Right.
The hell is this?
And what the kid is going to admit here is that there was some reality to it, but there was a lot of falsehood behind it as well.
More falsehood than
Yes. So it would be like 9/11.
9/11.
There was 3,000 people that died when the buildings fell. But everything that they said that happened leading up to it, who did it, all of that stuff, was all to bring in the Patriot Act. All right, let it play.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. And before we get into anything, I just want to make sure that everybody hasn't forgotten why we are actually here tonight. I mean, we lost 17 lives last week, and
yes,
I actually physically put 2 to rest. And to me, that was the hardest thing in the world to endure. I mean, nobody should have to go through this. So as long as we're taking the right steps to move forward from this and make sure that this doesn't happen again, I'm all for that.
Well, we certainly haven't forgotten. Thank you for reminding us yet again. And we think that the only way to make the country better and maybe put a dent in this scourge is to have a rational, thoughtful conversation about what to do next. And with that in mind, you were planning to go to this event.
So real quick, if you can tell in the way that the reporter is speaking, he's leading towards something.
Right.
Yes.
Right. This attack not only is a false flag in order to build a narrative, to put in place some laws that they want for particular reasons, but Fox News is the news company that Trump pushes.
Right, exactly.
They did all that they could to dig in and find CNN playing the bad guy.
They arch enemy.
So Esau will expose each other for the sake of moving forward their personal agendas as well.
But they still the bird of the same wing. So
still, yes.
Right and left, same deal.
You always say rational.
Right.
Rational.
Let it play.
Last night, and tell me if I'm mischaracterizing any of this. And you sent in, at the request of a CNN producer, you sent in a number of questions, statements you wanted to make, questions that you wanted to ask of the politicians on the stage. And they rewrote one of your questions? Is that right?
Yes, sir. So what had happened was 4 days ago, I had gotten contacted by a lady named Carrie Stevenson from CNN. She had asked me originally to just write a speech. It was going to be at the town hall at the BB&T Center. So I agreed. I felt like it would be the right thing to do, be able to go speak my part as well as open eyes to a few things that I thought that could make this situation a little better. From there, 3 days ago, so the next day after that, we had gotten, I got an email back from her, and she asked for more of questions rather than a speech, which I was totally fine with. So I wrote a little less of a speech and more of questions that I wanted to ask at the town hall. The day after that, it was more of just questions. She asked for just questions that I would like to ask. So I gave her my questions, and then yesterday at about 5:15, I made contact with her, and she had asked if I just asked her one question. So what they had actually done was wrote out a question for me, because in my interview with CNN, I had talked about arming the teachers if they were willing to arm themselves in the school to carry on campus. And they had, she had taken that of what I had briefed on and actually wrote that question out for me. So I have that question here if you'd like me to ask it for you.
Well, but I just want to make sure I have this straight. So you sent them a long, in effect, essay on what you thought, but they put their own words in the question, and they weren't the same as the words you had sent in? They were the producer's words?
Absolutely. They had taken what I had wrote and what I had briefed on and talked about, and they actually wrote the question for me.
So pause
but not.
So the situation is the same as they do with the Bible. Rather than letting the truth be the truth, letting the word be the word, they take it and switch it to make it fit whatever it is.
So they add and take away.
They add and take away. Yes.
That's why, you know what, you have all these different versions out. You have the NJV, the NIV, the what else? You got all these. The ASV. What is ASV? American Standard Version.
Standard version. Right.
You got all these versions, adding to the word, removing certain color scriptures,
right,
and so forth. All right. And the Most High tells you, do not add or take away from His word.
Right.
That's right. Let's get a script. Give me Romans 1:18.
Let's get that real quick. Romans 1:18. Who's reading?
I'm gonna get it, Cap.
All right, come on. Romans 1:18.
Romans 1:18. The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Who tells lies.
Right.
So the Most High don't like that thing. He said the wrath gonna come up on y'all for lying on His people. Because that's what they do.
That's right.
And that's what you see now. And a lot of times, everything that's going on, people tend to overlook it. Like the bishop was bringing out as far as the plagues of Egypt. How much more Babylon the Great? So this man, he doesn't understand, like, there's repercussions for his actions. There's repercussions for enslaving the Israelites. And even when the yokes of iron came off of our necks, when we were supposed to repent to the Most High God and so forth, he was just increasing his transgression. You know, with all the violence as he's doing towards us, how he's painting us in the media, especially while we're repenting as true Israelites, they still trying to demonize the Israelites by weaponizing of words, false flags, and false and brothers and sisters watching, y'all did not see nothing yet. Okay, that what happened in Jersey, what's going on, what happened in Muncie, New York, that's just
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's a tip of the iceberg as far as how they're going to have false flags. They're going to blame the Israelites for everything.
That's right.
Okay, somebody steps on a piece of gum, the Israelites did it.
The black Hebrew
All right.
Israelites.
The Amalek walking across the street, he trips on his own shoelace,
The black
falls.
Hebrew Israelites.
The black Hebrew Israelites did it.
What the hell is this?
Okay, that's what's coming.
Right.
That's this. The writing is all over the wall. You know?
That's another. It's just character assassination. That's pretty much. That's all it is.
Right.
Public
Absolutely.
persuasion.
All right, go ahead.
Into your question, even after they'd asked you to send questions in. But that seems dishonest.
And the reporter is playing on it, if you notice. He's really, really playing on it.
What is that, Tucker Carlson, Fox
Yeah.
guy? Yeah.
By him asking, that seems dishonest. He's the reason he made that statement because he wants the young man right there to elaborate on it.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to push it.
Let it play.
Push their narrative.
Why I didn't go last night. Originally, I had thought that it was going to be more of my own question and my own say, and then it turned out to be more of just a script. And she had actually said that over the phone that I needed to stick to the script.
That's remarkable. What did you watch last night?
I watched a little bit of it.
All right, so we can cut it there. We can cut it there.
So you know what? You know what that proves? That he's not the only one.
Right.
He's not the only one. Even till now, a lot of things that we see in the media, different interviews or whatever, I'm pretty sure you're going to bring some more stuff out. A lot of that stuff is scripted when dealing with Esau's news. When you do those interviews, when they interview you, a lot of times they want you to stick to the script. If they don't write out a script for you, they'll try to guide you in a certain direction with their questions.
Exactly.
But that's why you got to be in the spirit and you got to catch that.
Exactly.
And you have to expect that. The scripture says, never trust thine enemy.
Yes.
Can we get that? Let's get that, please.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that. Okay, the scripture says that for a reason. They're going to ask you questions to try to guide you into a certain direction. They want you to answer it. They want you to say, there's like trigger words that they'll use.
Right.
Okay, come on, let's get that real quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
The Bible says, never trust thine enemy. Who's the enemy? You can read about it in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 48th verse. The same people that put yokes of iron on your necks and sold you into slavery.
That's right.
God is saying that. Why we don't want to put our trust in God? It just blows my mind. As if we know his creations more than him. When he's the creator. He knows the spirit in man. Okay, he tells you never trust thine enemy, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason. All right, go ahead.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
So he gets worse in time, because ain't nobody cleaning off that rust. Esau is just old and rusty and wicked as hell. All right, so y'all need to stop trusting him.
That's
right. All right.
Cap, something you said earlier was big, and it's actually crazy because me and my rib and my mother was speaking about it on the way here. Esau has done so much on this earth. He's done so much against God.
He
There's
can't
no
turn
way
back.
possible.
No way.
He has to be destroyed. There's no way possible he could fix all of the things that he's done.
Hey, that's heavy what you said right there.
Yeah.
Because you have a dumb man by the name of Creflo Dollar that said if God destroys Babylon the Great, also known as America, Christ he has to apologize to Christ.
What the hell is this?
I'm telling you, a Negro will set you back. A Negro will just comments like that. Even Esau want to smack him.
Right.
Esau is probably like, damn, you so dumb.
Right.
I like you, but you dumb as hell. That is the most dumbest comment I've ever heard. You know, Esau's like, damn, what a dumb nigga. You a dumb. You good. You my nigga, but you a dumb nigga.
Right. Hey, Cap. They say they did a good job on it. Hey, we did a good job on him.
We did a great job on Creflo Dollar, and the likes like him.
Yeah.
All right, but all praises to the Most High brothers. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, feel free to call in 214. The phone number should be at the bottom of the screen. 214-272-0400. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Stay tuned.
Dark Ages on Facebook. This is our new Facebook page. Some of you are probably asking right now, what's the purpose of this particular page? One word, imagery. Imagery is often shaped by media art, magazines, history, and television. Now, the importance of imagery is profoundly demonstrated in the examination of how a people view themselves and the subsequent actions after the imagery is shown through the aforementioned mediums that I mentioned before. By the subjugation or acceptation of these image-shaping mediums, the result causes a people to either imagine their future in a positive posture or a negative posture. In both cases, these images cause a people to imagine their inspired reality, which is set beyond their immediate present. So, when did this destruction happen? One word, iconoclasm, which means the destruction of imagery. What time period? The Renaissance period. The rebirth of the so-called white man coming into power. Because we were the ones that were ruling during the Dark Ages. As you see over here, this illustration. On this side, you have a black God. God shown as a black people. When was it whitewashed? The Renaissance period. Now you have a white God. Over here you have a black Jesus, Jesus the Christ, our Lord and Savior, shown as a black man. Whitewashed during the Renaissance period. Over here you have the apostles, Peter and Paul, shown as black men. Whitewashed over here. Right here you have the holy angels shown as black angels. Later on, they were whitewashed. The Bible says in Job 9:24, the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. The first judge whose face was covered was God. The second judge was Christ. Then the angels, and then the Israelites, okay, made white. So we encourage you, brothers and sisters, to share this page, subscribe to this page, and also visit us at IsraelUnite.org.
You are listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
All right, shalom. Most High in Christ bless to those tuning in. All praises to the Most High. That was a quick commercial break. Please subscribe to our IUIC Dark Ages Facebook. We have IUIC documentary on YouTube, IUIC short films. Please stay tuned. We're trying to push this truth to another level.
That's
another
right.
level.
That's
New
right.
levels.
That's right. Hey, Cap, and
New
I like
levels.
those Dark Ages videos, man. If they watch them, there's a lot of history that's brought out. That, you know, you bring out a lot of history, man, and the history is important. 1 Kings 8 says that we have to bethink ourselves first. Right. The history is what allows us to bethink ourselves.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And, you know, with all the, you know, iconoclasm, as I mentioned in the video, we tend to see ourselves inferior in our present reality because pictures, we don't see ourselves in pictures.
Right.
As far as, you know, in greatness, anything with greatness, we don't see ourselves in. So that was the reason why we started the Dark Ages page in the first place. Right. To show our people that we once ruled Europe over there, you know. So all praises to the Most High to that. So let's get back on topic. Who are these two guys right here?
Well, we're gonna hop to a story across the pond. So in the first segment, right, we showed how they will script particular things in order to cause certain things to happen. In this story, this is about a murder of a young Edomite girl in London, but they used these key words that they use and key things in order to, of these two men, these are two men that are accused of murdering the girl.
But it was actually found guilty, right?
Yes, they were actually found guilty, but it ends up, both of them ended up in jail, and one of them ended up getting out and coming home.
Come on now, dog.
Okay.
One of
So
them.
let me take a guess. Who's the one that ended up staying? in
You
jail?
already know. Jake.
Damn. Tyrone.
Yes.
Tyrone.
Pookie.
Right.
But was he guilty?
He was guilty. So it's not
it-
not
yeah.
saying right.
So
He's
it is
guilty.
what it is. He got to say
he
it.
did it.
It is what it is. If he's guilty of the crime, he got to do the
He
time.
got to do
Plain
the
and
time.
simple.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Jody Chesney murder. 2 teenagers jailed for life. Now, his name is Vincent Ong Akwi. So it's Vincent Ong Akwi and
Is
Aaron.
that Nigerian?
No, he's from Suriname.
He's from Suriname.
Suriname.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I was about to say something, but I'll keep that to myself. Go ahead.
Got you. Sentenced to at least 26 years and 18 years, respectively. The 2 teenagers have been jailed for life for the callous, casual, and irresponsible murder of 17-year-old Jody Chesney. Now, what I wanted to show in this, you see the use of words. They said callous, casual, irresponsible. This is the story dealing with both of them, right? Drug dealer Vincent Ong Akwi, 19, and his 17-year-old runner. So notice, they placed drug dealer on Jake, but they only called the other one a runner.
So that was the man he was bumping off the work to.
Right.
And he was, okay. All right.
Had been looking to take revenge on rivals when they killed Jody by mistake, the Old Bailey herd. Jody, who was a scout and described as a girl next door. So again, they're using words to paint the pictures. She's this picture perfect.
Already in the minds of the people, you're thinking,
right,
why?
Yes, why?
Exactly.
Hey, you know the people in Africa, over there in Africa where we was at, every time they said that, it's almost as if they thought some angel was going to appear out of heaven, or all the resources that Esau stole from them. All the resources that Esau stole from them was going to magically reappear under their feet. All the diamonds, the gold, the bauxite, and minerals.
Yeah.
It was like, why?
Right.
So right now you're thinking of a white
Yes.
girl with nice flowing blonde hair with the blue eyes, floating off, levitating off the ground.
Yes. Right.
That's what you're thinking. Eating brownies.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right? The Little House on the Prairie.
Girl
Brady
Scout.
Bunch.
Yeah, Girl
That's
Scout.
what you're thinking. Just by those trigger words.
Right. Because they're telling you she was a Girl Scout described as a girl next door. But let's see what she had been doing. Had been smoking cannabis.
Hey, they never use that word.
She was smoking
They
weed.
never use that word, cannabis.
Never.
They don't use that for Jake.
No.
Right.
They say marijuana.
Right.
They say
Marijuana.
weed,
Drugs.
pot,
Right.
pot, piff.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't say cannabis. They don't give the scientific name of the plant.
Right.
Nah.
No.
And this is in UK.
This is in the UK.
Hey, the same devil over there is the same devil over here.
That's right.
Like that song.
Everybody, they thought it was something different.
Right. All
Different
around the world.
Different head, same dragon.
Different head, same.
Wow. Smoking cannabis.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Jody, who was a scout and described as a girl next door, had been smoking cannabis and listening to music with friends in a park in Romford in March when she was stabbed in the back.
Hey, they make that seem like it's so just innocent.
It's just casual.
innocent.
They're
Just
just smoking
casual.
some cannabis, listening to music.
Enjoying their day in the park.
Right.
Come
But
on,
this
man.
park is known for
Bro.
drug activity.
Hey,
Right.
watch this now. With the trigger words. Let's say Jody was a young black lady. This is what it said. It would have said Jody, who was a thought and described as a whatever,
Right.
had been smoking weed and
Right.
listening to loud hip hop music
Exactly.
with friends in a park after hours.
Exactly.
That's what it would have said.
Exactly.
At disturbing hours.
That's at disturbing hours. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
That's how Esau get down. Go ahead.
Yes. She screamed and collapsed in the arms of her boyfriend, Eddie Coyle, 18, as her attackers, who did not know her, made off in a fellow drug dealer's car. Days later, they were arrested together as they fled from a house. The defendants denied Jody's murder, each blaming the other for inflicting a wound that almost went through her torso. But prosecutor Crispin Aylett, QC, told jurors that both were responsible for the killing amid incidents of casual violence in the drug dealing world. The jury deliberated for less than 6 hours last week to find them guilty of murder. Here's the picture of the Girl Scout.
So this is what they do. They find, nice pictures for Esau.
Right.
Whenever it comes to Jake, what you'll get is remember Trayvon Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that's the brother that got killed by George Zimmerman.
Right.
And there was one picture that came out first. He was looking young, real innocent, whatever. And that was the picture that his mother put out.
Right.
Esau turned around, went back and found an Instagram or MySpace picture where when he had the grills on.
Yes.
I think he had the grills on, and I think he had his middle finger out or something like that.
Right.
And I think he had a beanie. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because that was so long ago.
It was something that looked gangster.
Yeah.
Right.
Something that looked sort of, what you see in what's called the hip hop culture.
Right. Right.
That's what they do. They go find the worst pictures or the most, I'm not going to say the worst pictures, because there's nothing wrong with the way he looked in that picture. There's nothing wrong with wearing the gold that he had in his mouth.
Right.
But in the sight of
what they did is they find the most intimidating pictures to Esau.
Right.
That Esau deems undesirable.
Right.
And they put that out.
The hell is this?
But when it comes to Esau, this is what you get.
Yes.
right, less threatening.
Less
That's
threatening.
threatening. I got to just put some wings behind them.
Yeah. That looks like, what's that company that takes pictures? Used to go to the mall and take the pictures? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody out there knows what I'm call in and tell us the name of the company you used to go and take the photos at the mall, man.
Bro, look what it says. She was relaxing with friends. I guarantee you, if that was Shaniqua, if that was Shaniqua, man, I'm telling you, it would not say Shaniqua was relaxing with friends.
Exactly.
It wouldn't say that.
No. Judge Wendy Joseph QC handed Ong Akwi a life sentence with a minimum of 26 years. She sentenced Isaacs to be detained for at least 18 years. So she gave the Jake a life sentence with a minimum of 26, but she gave Esau 18 years.
Bruh.
Two co-defendants who were in the car with Ong Akwi and Isaacs were cleared of murder. The judge said Jody's death led to a world of anguish for her family, which
rightfully so.
Rightfully so, which came amid tit-for-tat incidents. Jody was the victim of callous, casual, and irresponsible violence that had shocked the community to the core, she said. On the evidence, she found Ong Akwi wielded the knife and Isaac was his enthusiastic supporter. Judy lamented the impact of criminals.
The judge.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Judy, man. It's these dots on these glasses. I need some new ones.
Adding or taking away. Go ahead.
The judge lamented the impact of criminals that had carved up areas of the capital of this country, she added. The dangers this brings to decent, law-abiding members of this public is graphically spelled out in this case. So now, in that, she speaks, these guys, these young black terrorists are tearing our nation apart.
Yeah, the undesirables.
Right.
Now, here's the thing, though. We're not saying if the brother committed the murder, he got to pay.
Yes,
exactly. We know, according to the Bible,
yes,
we don't teach violence. The scripture says to be at peace with every man. What we have a problem with is the way they try to use trigger words and they weaponize with words to try to paint a picture. Okay? Of not only him, but of all black kids that are his age.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's go out of this because now I want to pull up the next story behind it. And I want you to see the difference of the use of words. Is it that one?
So what you're going to do now, you're going to make a comparison.
I'm going to make a comparison.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So who are we? We're about to read about a black victim?
No. So this is the same story,
article? Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to go in and there is, let me see. Scroll. What is it? Okay. Scroll Scroll down. Let's see. Okay, so this is another one. They're calling her a glittering Girl Scout. Stabbed to death.
Glittering Girl Scout.
Yes.
She was in the park smoking weed. I don't know too many Girl Scouts smoke weed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She was a popular A-level student.
Glittering Girl Scout. She in the park smoke. I mean,
go to
brother.
go to the next story. I'm sorry. Go to the next story.
Just how they use.
Go to
words.
the next story. Yeah, right below. Yeah. So we see in this story now again, Cap, as you said, if the brother did the crime, he must do the time.
Absolutely.
Right? But let's watch how by painting him as the drug dealer, the other guy just as the runner, the types of words that were used. 8 months later, the kid who was the Edomite was cleared of her murder and let out of jail.
So why does it say Manuel Petrovic?
That's his name.
I thought it was Aaron Isaacs.
Well, yeah, they threw a couple of names. There were so in these stories, there's a bunch of conflict that's happening.
Okay.
This is another one of those things that you see. All right. Manuel Petrovic, which is actually the kid's name that was on the picture, cleared of Jody Chesney's murder. 8 months after being arrested for the murder of Girl Scout Jody Chesney, Manuel Petrovic has been cleared. So the picture that was painted was that the so-called Jake, or the so-called black guy, was the true monster.
Right.
This guy was just being controlled by the monster.
The hell is this?
Jody was stabbed in the back while she was in Rumford Park with friends. The horrific knife attack shocked the nation as news of the murder of this 17-year-old girl next door emerged. And there's all the blonde hair and, you know. Manny Petrovic was the first to be arrested for the murder, so he was picked up first. Police were tipped off that two men ran away from the scene of the crime into a black Vauxhall Corsa. They linked the vehicle to a recently abandoned car, which they traced back to his Manny's sister's address in Leicester. Petrovic admitted driving the car, but maintains that he did not know his passengers were intent on committing murder. He refused to name them to police.
You know, there was an incident just like that.
Yes.
Somewhere in California.
Exact same
LA.
thing.
It's an Edomite with two Jakes.
Right.
And he said the same thing.
Yes.
And he got off. I remember that.
I didn't know. So they paint the picture and use the words so that they can justify when they let him out that the other guys were really the ones that were the monsters. He's just a good kid that fell into a bad situation. Petrovic described suffering a violent ordeal days after his arrest at Balmarsh, a maximum security prison in London. A gang of inmates accused him of being a nonce and jumped him, trading blows and slashing his face. I had a couple of people jump me when I had just come on the wing of Belmarsh prison. Two of them tried jumping me, tried punching me a couple of times, kicked me. One hit me with a 10 and it cut my face. Okay, yeah. Ultimately, two men were found guilty of murdering Jody, but Petrovic was not one of them. A jury found Manny and another man not guilty. Police have presumed a drug-related motive to the crime. The only other named suspect, so now they're going to give. So remember, that picture showed that there were two men.
Right.
The only other named suspect, Vincent Ongakwe, was a drugs dealer who was found guilty of murder.
Let's answer that call. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the scripts.
Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
Most High in Christ bless. Just turn down your speaker so we can hear you.
Can you hold on right quick?
Yeah, turn down your volume. Yes, caller, you there?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Your voice sounds very familiar. It's Shaul?
It's Saul.
Hey, Most High in Christ bless, bro. What's going on, officer?
Christ bless. Hey, I want to share something with y'all since y'all talking about the weaponizing with the words and stuff like that. My rib, last year, she had to do jury duty, right? And I'm gonna try to make the story really quick, but they didn't have any evidence on this dude, they said that this guy raped his daughter and all this other kind of stuff, and comes out the daughter was just mad, and she did some stuff to herself to make herself, look like she got raped and that she was beaten and all this other kind of stuff. But they really couldn't find any physical evidence, and it took like a week for them to just figure out something, for the judge to come out and put out something. But both sides was just like, well, there's really no evidence. Both of them said that, both sides. And when it came down to it, they were like, well, let's just ask these questions right here, because we can get this guy if we ask this question like this. If you ask it like this, this is going to get him like 60-something years or whatever. Now, the people who, I guess what you call them, the judge, like that not judge, what do you call them? The people,
jury.
Yeah, the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they couldn't, they were like, all right, well, we'll go off of these questions then. And basically they have to come to a thing basically saying like, yeah, did you agree? Do y'all agree that this happened, or that he said yes to this and he said no to this and all this other kind of stuff? And they're like, yeah, but these questions aren't right because there's more to the story. There's like contaminated, what do you call it? Contaminated evidence, because the cops messed up on some stuff and putting fingerprints on stuff and everything else. But my rib came home crying because she was like, I think we just put an innocent man in prison and he's going to rot there for life. You know what I'm saying? So weaponizing with the words, y'all pretty much, we're pretty much on point with that. You know what I mean? They do that crap in the court systems too when it comes to our people. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I was just chiming in right there.
All praises, man. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well.
Wow. So there's a lot of weaponizing going on, even stuff that doesn't get publicized in the media.
Right.
Wow.
And
Unbelievable.
It's always against us to stop us from becoming a nation.
Yes.
So much that we're trying to repent. It seems like it's getting worse and worse the more people wake up. It seems like they get.
Oh, of course, but that's scriptural. Remember what it says about the dragon.
The dragon was
being wroth.
Yeah.
So that's gonna happen.
So I watched, I know we're going back into this, but I watched that movie, The Day Shall Come.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't want to watch that thing. My rib asked me to watch it. Like, I'm not watching it.
I didn't want to at first
either. It looks to me, it looks childish. I know it got some, comic and some truth to it.
Right.
But I'm like, man, I want to see that damn FBI.
Right.
I want to see
Check
that
it
damn
out.
thing.
Check it out.
COINTELPRO 2.0.
It's like they made it corny so that anybody that's that has a real consciousness would be turned off by it.
Right.
But when you watch it, these same small tactics that you see are the exact same things that they use through the movie, and it would trip you out.
Damn.
It would trip you out. Wow. Yeah. All right. Before his arrest, Petrovic was a promising 20-year-old. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, because now they're gonna try to build.
Right.
That's the thing.
As soon as I seen the word promising, just whatever.
Right. All right. So let's go now.
Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. This is what's going on since the 28th of December? Is it?
Was it
with Amalek?
Yeah, with Amalek.
A little bit before that.
The thing in Muncie.
You talking about Muncie?
Right, Muncie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's go out now. Let's go back. Let's go out of this. Let's go back to the other. We're gonna go to the video up there. So in this video, we've got to listen and pay attention to the things that they're saying, right? Because then we're gonna watch other videos and a couple of articles and pick apart and see how they begin to use the same words to build a narrative to take him down. But being able to build a bigger picture later for all of Israel.
All right.
For all of Israel.
Weaponizing words.
Let it play.
Prosecutors have filed federal hate crime charges against the man accused of stabbing 5 Jewish people who were celebrating Hanukkah. The group was gathered inside a rabbi's home in New York when the attacker entered with a machete.
Now, Jewish leaders in Chattanooga are hoping this will spark change in our own community. Channel 3's Hunter Hoagland has the story.
Rabbi Lewis tells me even though this happened hundreds of miles away, members of the Jewish community across the country all are affected by an anti-Semitic attack.
All right, so pause.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, every time I hear that word, I just
Right.
You know how fast he was talking? What was that?
Right.
You know how fast he was talking? Hey, man.
Go ahead, Cal. What's you?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no.
I'm trying not to throw
Across
this
the
mic at
country,
the screen.
Hey, pause it real quick. Pause. Because
I got a tight grip on his mic.
Right.
I'm not trying to break the TV in here, man. Every time I hear that word, anti-Semitic. How the hell we anti-Semitic, but we're Semitic?
we're Semitic, right?
It's crazy, man.
Right.
Unbelievable.
But it shows when you watch this, you'll see how many times they use that word.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're saying, because this video, again, is from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So this is a rabbi in Chattanooga speaking out against it. The next video will be of New York. But what you're seeing now is rabbis all around the place.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's making the same war cry. Anti-Semitism, anti-Semitism. This is a hate group. This is hate speech. They're out to get us. And it builds sympathy for the devil.
The hell is this?
Man. It builds sympathy for the devil. Let it play.
Are affected by an anti-Semitic attack. If you can't follow the sixth commandment of thou shalt not kill,
How does something like that happen in general?
then you're missing the greatest command of all, that is loving your neighbor.
Pause. That point. They said it the sixth commandment of the 10 commandments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the guy guilty yet? Have they found him guilty?
No.
So how can they say that what he just did was broke the sixth commandment, right? But he hasn't even been found guilty.
Because they pushing that narrative. They want to plant in the minds of the people that this guy is a real terrorist and he's a hater of the so-called white Hebrew Israelis.
Right.
Right? They
Right.
want to plant that seed.
Right.
So in your mind, you about to be real angry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what they're trying to do. And they do a good job at it too. They do a great job.
Right.
They control the media.
But they have to paint the picture that these are the children of God. These are the ones that are lawful, and this goyim can't possibly ever measure up to these commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let it play.
Into somebody's home, purposefully wanting to hurt and kill Jewish people.
On Saturday, Grafton Thomas barged into a rabbi's home in New York armed with a machete. He stabbed 5 people inside, one of the victims.
5
now
people.
Fighting for
5 people, right? Everybody heard the same thing?
Yes.
5 people. Let it play.
their life. Investigators found Thomas's journals where he drew swastikas and wrote about Nazi culture.
The gore and the shock and the violence and the randomness of it is very scary.
Craig Lewis is the rabbi at the Mitzvah congregation. He says the anti-Semitic attack in New York is felt 800 miles away in Chattanooga.
An attack against any Jewish person or any Jewish community is felt by every Jew around the world.
The attack, now labeled as a hate crime, came on the 7th night of Hanukkah as they were lighting the candles. Michael Dzik, the executive director of the Jewish...
He said, wait. He said every Jewish person, and then he said it's felt by every Jew around the world.
But that's because they pushing it on every news channel around the world.
Mhm.
That's in Chattanooga. They push it also here locally.
Right.
And they paint the same narrative to make us look bad. Or make this guy look bad. Now, to me, when I follow the story, the guy has a mental illness, but they don't push that aspect. But let it be one of them. They'll push the mental illness part more than they'll push the heinous act that he did.
Right.
But go ahead, though. Run it.
Federation says the lights of Hanukkah still overshadow this darkness.
Hanukkah can really be a reminder of standing up against hate. And so I think I've seen the Jewish community turn this really tragic incident into something that can be a positive step forward.
So if anti-Semitism is something that is taught, then learning to love is just as easy, and standing together seems to be a good place to start.
Christians, Muslims, whoever is being persecuted, we all need to stand up together to put an end to this.
Investigators have
Ain't nobody ever stood up for us. Ain't nobody ever stood up for us. The way they shoot us down in the streets, bro, they should have been all on the UN standing up for us. Somebody should have said something about all this crime that they did to our people. Nobody stands up for the real Israelites, the real Jews. But that's all right. The Most High gonna stand up for us, bro.
Right. Let me get a scripture. Zephaniah 2:1. What's interesting is he said that Muslims, Christians, Jews, we should all be standing up together. Wow. Where is that? In the Talmud? Because it's not in the scripture.
Definitely not.
It's not in the Bible. Somebody got that for me?
Yes.
Zephaniah 2:1.
You got
Let's
that?
get that.
Zephaniah 2:1.
Yes, sir. Zephaniah 2:1. And let's see who the Bible says should be standing up together.
Is this the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1?
Uh-huh.
Let me make sure I got that. Zephaniah 2:1. I got this new Bible, man. It says, gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
The Bible said that the nation that is not desired is who should stand together.
That's right.
The nation that's not desired are the children of God called the Israelites.
That's right.
It is not Christians. It is not Muslims.
Right.
It is not the Amalekites joined together in one fight together. God said, Israel, O nation not desired, gather yourselves together.
That's right. That's
I
right.
don't know what this dude is talking about, man.
And the Israelites, the true Jews, are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans.
That's right.
The ones that suffered through the slave trade, the ones that was brought here on slave ships, the ones that's on the west coast of Africa, the ones that scattered throughout Africa through the diaspora.
That's right.
Those are real people of Israel.
Those are real.
Coming from Shem, Japhet. No, I mean not Japhet. Coming from Shem, not Japhet, not Ham. We come from Shem. We
That's
are
right.
Shemitic. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That
Those
makes
are
us
our
Semitic?
forefathers.
That makes us Semitic.
That makes us Semitic.
I don't know. Maybe I can't. That's 2 bomb drops. I like that. Give us another one. That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, Shalom Leadership. Hey, one of the sisters said, and speaking of gathering together, one of the sisters said they had a lot of men in that room. He stabbed 5 people. It's a lot of people. Nobody tackled him before he got to all those people. Something don't sound right.
Right. So let's go to the next video.
Hey, you know what? Before you show the next video, matter of fact, go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't gonna interrupt.
Oh, you want the commercial?
No.
You wanna
Go ahead.
No?
Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll hold off on the commercial.
All right.
Play the next video.
Let's go to the next video.
I just sent you something, Jonathan. I want to play that too after this. Go ahead. Answer that. We got another caller. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the
stabbing
scripts.
attack at a Hanukkah celebration in
Caller.
Muncie, New York. Police say
Most High in Christ bless. My name is Kevin de Cavallo. My Judah name is Judah Israel.
All right, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling. You got a question or comment?
And I just want to touch on the topic that something that happens in Portugal. That a brother got jumped by a couple Portuguese people, like 15 people in Portugal, and he died. And so the news that shows that they didn't show any sympathy to our people. They didn't even show the picture of the brother that died and everything. So when people start complaining and protesting about the case, because they said the cause of the death was that when they jumped him, he fell off and then he hurt himself and he died. So and people was demanding justice. So now they now kind of showing the investigations going on and everything. So
yeah,
I'm just want to say the things that our people being happens to our people. It's been happened for a while, and is all over the world. So
what country is that?
It happens in Portugal. I'm so-called Cape Verdean.
Okay. You said
yes,
this happened in Portugal?
Yeah, it happened 4 days ago. Yeah, 4 days ago.
Okay, and the victim was a brother?
Yes, so-called Judah. Yeah. I assume it's from the tribe of Judah. Like myself.
Well, that's suspected because the Portuguese. That's Esau.
Yeah. I know. They are Esau.
Yeah, it's all over, man.
They're the first one that put us in slavery, and then after that they came the Spaniards and the England and then so forth.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, it's kind of hard, but I've been trying to wake up our people and trying to post as much as I can, and now I'm starting actually go to the camp.
Mhm.
Trying to go, I want to go to the camp actually to learn more and more, and
Oh,
trying to
praises.
wake
Hey,
up
where
people.
where are you? Where are you now? You in Cape Verde?
I'm actually I'm actually in Boston, Massachusetts. Yes.
Okay. All right. You were Captain Gideon.
Yeah, I got they have a school in Brockton. I was starting to go to the school and everything, but I had a couple issues like family issues, so I didn't I stopped going. But now I'm planning go back and then get built up again, and
Okay. All praises, man. Keep up the good work, man. All right.
thank you. I appreciate
All
it.
right,
Most
thank you.
time, but
Okay. Thank you for calling in.
praise.
Shalom.
no problem. Thank you. Shalom.
All praise. All right, so where were we? Let's continue back. Let's go to that video. So, in this video, this is a secondary video. Again, it's a comparison because they say one thing here, then they say another thing there, and then you watch the articles and they build it up. 1 minute is this many people, next minute is this many people, and it's just a continuation of confusion so that they just build a narrative and keep us locked out of what's actually going on so that they can, do it however they want to do it. That they can build it based on what they want it to be.
So they can control the minds of the people.
They control the narrative. Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Yeah, I'm using a lot of words, trying to find the right one.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Run it.
We do have new information on a stabbing attack at a Hanukkah celebration in Muncie, New York. Police say 37-year-old Grafton Thomas wounded 5 people inside a rabbi's home. New York's governor called it domestic terrorism, and the attack is part of a national rise in anti-Semitic incidents and harassment.
So pause
Tom
right
Hansen
there.
is in Muncie.
Right there. That's what I want to show. So now, the first story, they're saying, that it's 5 people, and they're still saying it's 5 people. But now, though, they're having to put in the narrative that there's a rise, a national rise of anti-Semitic attacks.
The hell is this?
So what are you doing? You're putting people on edge. You're putting these communities on edge, and you're actually calling for it because we've already seen that they have no problem making false narratives.
Right.
False flag is a thing that they do. So now they're pushing it so that other communities began to do what they call watch for the copycat. Yes.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
for
the
the copycat
copycat.
situation.
Right.
Yes. All right, let it play.
Less than 30 miles north of New York City. Tom, what's the latest on the victims?
Good morning. Well, an elderly man was seriously hurt in the stabbing. He's still in critical condition as far as we know. 4 others were also injured, including the son of a rabbi. But as we've heard time and time again from this religious community, they are refusing to be silenced by the violence that happened here. Members of the Jewish community rallied in Brooklyn Sunday night, hours after dozens gathered in the afternoon outside Rabbi Chaim Rottenberg's home.
We're not going to cower in the face of hate.
Heavy bleeding. I need multiple ambulances, please.
The knife ambush happened Saturday around 10 p.m. at the home where more than 100 Orthodox Jews were gathered
Pause.
to celebrate.
Right there, they said how many?
100
Orthodox.
But in the other one, they said 5, right?
Right. Well, 5 got stabbed. They said the other one, they said 60 people were in the house.
60. So now it's 100.
Now it's 100 people in the house.
Right.
Let it play.
Witnesses say a man stormed in with a weapon and his face covered.
I saw a guy walking around and wielding a knife or a sword back and forth, hitting people.
Joseph Gluck says he chased down the attacker and threw this table at him.
I started to scream, everybody away, everybody away.
5 people were stabbed. The suspect allegedly fled in a car, but not before Gluck says he got the suspect's license plate number. Grafton Thomas was apprehended by police a couple hours later in New York City. Shortly after the attack, Rabbi Rottenberg continued the event in a nearby synagogue.
Is there a reason you did this?
All right, pause. Right there. So now, if you remember the original story, they said he ran into the house, stabbed up 5 people. They chased him out of the house, and he went next door to a synagogue and tried the same thing, but was unsuccessful. Now they're saying that they held something later on at a nearby synagogue, that it wasn't next door. But they're saying now they chased the guy outside and was able to get license plate information after throwing a table at him.
So they trying to make it look like he's a real hater of the so-called white Hebrew Israelis. So he going to synagogue to try to commit a lot of heinous acts.
Yes.
So they can prove that this is a terrorist act.
Yes, because who does the narrative of it being hate have to be built against?
Us.
Exactly.
And you know what's crazy about that is I'm still waiting for the manifestos of these people.
Right.
The manifesto of what happened in Jersey and the manifesto of this.
Right.
I'm still waiting for it because when you have these terrorist acts from let's say white people, they always bring out a manifesto, right? But now, apparently by the black Hebrew Israelites, all of them had some kind of written journal. They said this guy had a journal.
Right.
The other guy in Jersey, they said they had he had something in his car, and then when they checked his computer, he watched videos from 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Right.
But I'm still waiting for the manifesto.
They still never bring
no
it.
manifesto.
No.
I wonder why.
Right. Let it
Go
play.
ahead.
For Thomas's alleged violence is not yet known, but it comes amid a rise in anti-Semitic attacks and incidents. Earlier this month, 2 shooters opened fire
that dude
on a
was a nut.
Jewish-owned
The
grocery.
guy was schizophrenic.
Exactly,
His
yeah.
family came out and said he was crazy.
Right.
He got arrested before for punching a horse. The police officer was sitting on the horse, and he walked up to the horse and he tried to knock out the horse.
Come on, man.
The dude was crazy, man. The dude was nuts.
He was nuts.
But they forgot the thing about mental illness. They put that to the side. They said no, anti-Semite.
Right. Only for our people, though.
Right.
For our people, that's what they do. But for their people, they'll make a whole campaign about taking your meds and how we need to keep guns out of people with mental illness, and, stuff like that, man.
Yeah, but it's all about painting the picture though. So they want to paint the picture that we all have that mindset,
right?
And we all have that mindset, that violent, you want to harm people mindset.
Exactly, officer. And that's the picture on this video right here. The picture they trying to paint of us is that the black Hebrew Israelites are evil.
Another caller. Let's answer that. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in. Question or comment?
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. This is Sister Shia Israel. I was in New York when this happened. This is like the first time we heard it on the news. Me and my daughters were sitting down watching it, and they said 20 people was hurt at first. But the thing is, I don't understand how they let this man walk in. They knew it. He's a big black man. He walked in, and then all of a sudden he just started wielding this machete, and then he walked right back out, and nobody hit, nobody conquered all those men that was there. I just don't understand it. The story does not add up. To me, it's just a setup, just to to cause so much confusion and chaos.
Yes.
To destruct, to destruct the truth. That's all. It's a lie. It's a lie because nothing is adding up to it. And that's all I wanted to add.
All praises to the Most High. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, shalom.
And you know what? A lot of people are thinking the same way that she's thinking with that comment.
Right. But it is they have to paint this narrative because the truth is they don't have the evidence of this.
Right.
They don't have. They know who they are. They know who we are.
Right.
And without painting this picture, there is no sympathy for the devil. So then it looks like the situation in the Bible where they said that if this man is doing many miracles, right? What is that in John 11?
You leave him thus alone?
Yes. So they know that they have to paint the narrative first of him being a bad guy or of us being bad guys. So when the persecution begins, now the world doesn't have sympathy for us, the ones that are the true justified people.
Exactly right, officer. Exactly right.
Because they're pretty much because it's justified. Like the things that they bring up against us, whatever they want to do to us will be justified. That's pretty much what it's about. Right. But okay, give me Psalms. Okay, Psalms 55 and 21, because we gotta understand, man. We're dealing with a demon.
That's right.
Straight up.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
So the words of his mouth are smoother than butter. So when the brother's talking about 20 men, 60 men, 100 men, it's all foolishness.
That's
It's
right.
all foolishness. It's all to destroy our people, to destroy the movement of the Most High God.
That's right.
But it's not going to be destroyed because the scripture says that nothing's going to stop the truth, man.
Right.
That's right.
No matter what they do, they're just going to make it worse. They're just going to bring us more attention They're going to bring us more attention. That's all they're going to do, bring us more attention. That's going to wake up Israel, man.
That's right.
So it's their demise according to the scriptures, either way it goes, man.
Want me to finish this out? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
So it's all about war tactics, flagging with Esau. That's all it's about.
Hey, we heard what the Mossad said. Through deception, we shall create war.
That's right.
Right, and they're the biggest deceivers known to man.
That's right.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Right, because they're drawing swords. They're drawing war tactics.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about war. Esau's mindset from the beginning has been about war.
Mm-hmm.
How do I keep the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans down? How do I keep them in poverty?
Right.
How do I keep them from rising up? That's their mindset.
That's right.
Weaponizing with words, using words for war. They warring against us, and our people don't even know we've been in the war for a minute.
Right.
And we just now waking up and realizing that. If it wasn't for the Israelites, man, it wasn't for Bishop bringing this thing out, man, we'll still be asleep. We still wouldn't know how these people are doing what they're doing to us. So all praises, man, for the Israelites, man, for bringing this thing out, man, for showing our people the truth, and man. I just hope our people realize this. Watch these shows and watch these classes that IUIC have, and wake up and come out this marriage. Go ahead.
Jersey. 4 people, including a police detective, were killed. The FBI is investigating it as domestic terrorism.
We see anger, we see hatred exploding.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says there's been around 13 anti-Jewish incidents in the last few weeks.
It is an American cancer in the body politic.
Now, Thomas's public defender entered a not guilty plea for him. His family also released a statement overnight saying that he has a long history of mental illness and hospitalizations, but no known history of anti-Semitism. He's expected in court on Friday.
Tom, thank you.
Hey, show that video, please. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let the video speak for itself. And this is from a white Hebrew Israeli, 2 white Hebrew Israelis having a conversation on a show. I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment at all. I'm just going to tell you when to stop it. That's all I'm going to say. Just let the video explain itself.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
In the United States against policy. Often when there is dissent expressed in the United States against policies of the Israeli government, people here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it. When from Europe somebody is criticizing Israel, then we bring up the Holocaust. When in this country people are criticizing Israel, then there are anti-Semitic. And the organization is strong and has a lot of money, and the ties between Israel and the American Jewish establishment are very strong, and they are strong in this country. As you know, they have power, which it's okay. They are talented people, and they have power, money, and media, and other things.
Okay, stop it.
And
that's all I wanted to say. You heard her for herself. And she's Jewish. So is she anti-Semitic?
Right.
So you heard what she said.
Yes. She's a white Hebrew Israeli, and she said it for herself. It's all trickery. They use this as they use it as a defense, right, Cap?
The hell is
That's
this?
exactly what she was saying. Absolutely.
So that's a weaponized word,
Because
right?
if the family of this guy is saying, look, he has a long history of hospitalization and doing dumb stuff like that, violent acts,
right,
as a schizophrenic, why when he does it to a particular group of people, now he's an anti-Semite.
Right.
And supposedly in his journal, there was an article that came out that said he had a journal. I don't know too many black people with journals.
Right.
Or diaries. Maybe a few. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this black man had a journal, and inside of the journal, he had stuff about black Hebrew Israelites.
That's the picture.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the
so
goal.
we're putting it out there. We're letting everybody know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
You got more stuff to show, Yaku?
There's a little behind it. All right, go back up a little bit.
Hey, Cap, you said the same man tried to punch a horse that a police officer was riding.
The police officer was sitting on the horse, and this dude he punched the horse. He tried to knock the horse out.
And he has a journal.
And this man has a journal, a man that punched the horse in the face. So he goes home, and now he just, I guess he got tired of expressing his anger on animals and people. He goes home and puts pen to paper, and put words together. Eloquent being who's schizophrenic oh, come on, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Like I said, we still want to see these manifestos, man.
So now he can clearly express his thoughts. So now let's go to the because now there's one more article, because I want to show you the increase that last one of him, right? Yeah. No, above that. Yeah. There you go. That one. Let's see what happened. And it's making no sense to me. But we see who this is writing this, right? The Jewish Telegraphic Agency. Alleged Monsey stabber indicted on 6 attempted murder charges. Now, we just heard all videos for about 2 weeks that said 5 victims. Where's the 6th one coming from?
Damn.
Where is the...
Hey, you should become a detective.
right.
It should be a detective, man.
Where is number 6 coming from? All right. Scroll up a little bit. Let's see. A grand jury in Rockland County, New York, has indicted the alleged Monsey stabber on 6 attempted murder charges.
6 of them now.
6 of them. The charges against Grafton Thomas, announced on Friday, included 6 counts of attempted murder in the 2nd degree, 3 counts of assault in the 1st degree, 3 counts of attempted assault in the 1st degree, and 2 counts of burglary in the 1st degree. Thomas, 37, was arrested following the December 28th attack at the home of Rabbi Rottenberg. One of the victims, Joseph Newman, 71, is fighting for his life as a result of injuries to his head and brain cause. Brain cause? Thomas denies stabbing anyone, and his family says he suffers from mental illness. Thomas earlier had pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of attempted murder, and a judge set his bail at $5 million. He faces a maximum of 25 years in state prison. The stabbings also carry federal hate crime charges of obstruction of free exercise of religious beliefs involving an attempt to kill.
And that's what they're trying to push. They're trying to push that hate crime. That's what they're trying to push the most.
Right.
They want to try to make this mental ill brother as a poster child for this new law.
Right. So what you're seeing is they're using these words and a narrative, but they can't even keep their own story straight. It goes from 60 people to 100 people.
Exactly.
It goes from 5 people to 6 people. Where is it coming from? But all of it is attached to the hate crime thing, which is what they want to push.
Exactly.
In a criminal complaint, FBI Special Agent Julie Brown said investigators found journal pages written by Thomas that express anti-Semitic sentiments. But Thomas's family, in a statement released by his attorney, Michael Sussman, said the suspect has no known history of anti-Semitism and was raised in a home which embraced and respected all religions and races.
Because our people, that's what we do. We like everybody.
Right.
We don't beef against nobody, but everybody beef against us.
But ourselves.
Right.
We love everybody.
Right. We
but
love
ourselves.
everybody. We'll get down on one of us instead of getting down on the so-called white Hebrew Israeli.
Right.
Of course.
Exactly.
Because we don't see the Most High God. We don't see
see
Lord Christ in
That's
us.
right.
That's
That's
exactly
right.
what it
Yes.
is. When you see a Negro, when you see a Hispanic or Native American, then you're going to treat them like an Hispanic or Native American.
Right.
Because we have no substance. You got to think about that thing, man. We have the world doesn't see us as a people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They just see us as cattle working.
Yeah.
All right. Or pleasure. That's all they see us as.
Right.
They don't see us.
Right.
Yeah,
Entertainment.
just somebody that they can use.
Right.
That's all they see us as.
Yeah. I mean, the brother, hopefully, man, they can once he get incarcerated, because that's probably going to end up happening. Maybe he can get some help, because it's hard to get help out here for mental ill patients. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially a black mental
Especially
ill. They rather, instead of treating us for our mental illness, they rather lock us up.
Right.
Get us off the streets. And
right.
I mean, they hate us, man. Yeah. They hate us. Well,
yeah. So in short, all of this comes together, Cap, and it's to show that they definitely are building narratives. We started off at the beginning of the show to show how they build narratives by giving scripts in the media, and then the media pushes the narrative, and then the next thing you know, it becomes law, and it becomes all of these other things, and we end up in a great war as we're in now. Yes, sir.
One of the ways we could overcome that war, brothers and sisters, of course, keeping the commandments, going over our history, studying, praying, and applying.
That's right.
Please, brothers and sisters, subscribe to our YouTube page. We have In the Scripts, right? And
That's right.
IUIC Dallas. Of course, we have a Facebook page, IUIC Dallas, and In the Scripts on Facebook as well. All right. Continue to follow us, subscribe, comment, like. And Lord's will, see you brothers and sisters on Tuesday. Jonathan, let's close out with the commercial. Brothers.
You're listening
Thank
to
you for staying tuned.
In the Scripts Reloaded.
Sliding on the floor, ay, fellas throw your trumpet in the sky, let it blow, and get live like a post, live and get live like a post, ay, sliding through the door in royal garb, sisters got they fringes sliding on the floor, ay, fellas throw your trumpet in the sky, let it blow, and get live like a post, like 2 finger checks, I can't keep from moving, we been grooving, juice, swinging sweat, this is how we do it, just in case you wonder how to see the Jacob turn the party up, put away the folly from the body on some golly stuff, we know I be time for nothing else, we came up off the ropes, frankincense and murder, burning in the herb, holy smoke, whoa, to them niggas taking bribes from the folks, you gon' die, so sit back with Satan, hating while you watch us, we get live like a post, slide through the door, royal guard, sisters got they fringes sliding on the floor, ay, fellas throw your trumpet in the sky, let it blow, and get live like a post, live and get live like a post, ay, sliding through the door in royal guard, sisters got they fringes sliding on the floor, ay, fellas throw your trumpet in the sky, let it blow, and get live like a post.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed, but at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.